Hello guys, this is Fair from Chipi Pay, and I am here with another tutorial, this time explaining you guys how to use all the hooks that we viewed on our previous Next.js tutorial, now and how to set them up in Expo for this simple wallet component. It has authentication with Clerk, it has a create wallet component with passkey and biometrics. If you want to create one with PIN, it's exactly the same steps as with the Next.js usage. So on this tutorial, I'm only gonna cover biometrics. It's gonna cover how to transfer with passkey and also how to view the details of your wallet, which tokens it has available and the address. I'm also gonna show you guys two ways in which you can get the details. One with the wallet with the wallet hook that encompasses everything from token and wallet details, and others two hooks that do them separately. So without further ado, let's get started. So for this tutorial, you're going to go back to your dashboard.chipipay.com. If you haven't, please create your account. And once you create your account, you have to create an organization. Once you create your organization, you're going to arrive to this page of Quick Start. Please select Expo. You're going to select your auth provider. We support other auth providers, but for now, on this tutorial, I'm only going to cover Clerk. Then you're going to follow these installation steps. Up to this point. When you get to configure your authentication in JWKS, I'm going to ask you guys to go to Clerk to create any project that you want and go over to their quick start. I'm gonna ask you guys to please follow up to the Expo steps up until I think it's 0.5. Yeah, until 0.5. This component, since we're gonna have two wrappers in this component, I'm gonna ask you guys to please have a separate providers component that encompasses both providers, both the Clerk provider and Chipi provider. For now, just create the app providers and just put the Clerk provider, and then you're gonna put this. All right. Once you read this, just follow the steps until this part and go ahead and go to configure, go to API keys, and copy your Clerk secret key. Once you have your Clerk secret key, you're going to see here a space where you can paste it. And once you paste it, it's going to use that secret key not to store it, but to retrieve your JWKS URL in order to authenticate your calls to our SDK. Then you're going to arrive finally to the step in which you are going to add this provider. You're going to go ahead onto your app providers component and add it here. And you're gonna run npm run dev. Another important thing is that you only need to add to your end file this variable. Okay, this I think it's this is only needed for you have a separate backend or you need to do something differently. So you can add it in another place, but for now you only need to add this to your end variable. It should be something like this with just the public API key from Chipi and public API key from Clerk. All right, and once you have this, we're gonna go ahead and follow this tutorial on Clerk. I'm gonna go to overview. I'm gonna go to overview, and I'm gonna go to creating. Of course, I wasn't in Clerk. I'm gonna go to overview, and I'm gonna create this exact same page, except that I'm gonna. Well, you can leave it for as it is for now. Well, no, please, you can leave it as it is for now, but we're gonna change this to redirect us to /home. Okay, so if you could copy this and in your layout, /home, so that it redirects you to the correct page. After that, I'm gonna ask you guys to create these sign up and sign in pages. So for this is our sign-in form. I'm gonna go ahead and go first with our sign-up form. And for our sign-up form, we're gonna use the hook from Clerk from use sign up. We're gonna use their use routed to redirect our user once it has completed their signing up process. You're gonna use states in order to get the values of the user, and it's gonna have these finalized on complete and states because Clerk verifies your account for you, for your application. So it's gonna ask your users to input their email and password. It's gonna send a code, and depending on whenever it has sent the code or not, it's gonna prompt to appear these small like text box where they can input the numbers and verify their account. So this is for the signing form. This is pure components that style how it looks. The important things are the function from handle verified to handle start, that prompts the verification process and what happens once it's completed. Then we're gonna move on to the sign-in form. On the sign-in form, it's gonna be similar. The only things that you're gonna be looking that are maybe a little bit weird for you are these start SSAO flow. That is because on our Next.js tutorial, we have like some kind of, I think it's called like a satellite, where it redirects you automatically to a page. But since this is a mobile application, in order for us to be able to sign in with Google, we have to have the separate functions so that it allows us to, because it cannot redirect us to or open a web browser in our application, right? So you're gonna go ahead and copy this. This start flow, I'm gonna have a comment that is for Google Auth. And for it's gonna have like the same states for getting the user values, what happens once it's completed, if the user has OTP enabled or if your application has, and the containers for the styling process, okay? Once you have everything with the auth process, it's important that we view, I think it's we're already covered. This is the, oh, okay. This is the root layout that you're gonna have and the screens that are available. You have to be able to put everything that is gonna be on your rendered. So you're gonna have the auth functionalities of designing and everything, and the home, that is the screen where you're gonna arrive once you have your process. This model, I have it for design and testing purposes. It's just a model that renders two different things that redirects you to docs, because I also have, I think I have it over here. I don't know if I've already erased it. The thing is, it's just, let me just see, where am I? Oh, it's here. Yeah, it's just a little stylish component, because I also had one that linked all my documentation. I thought it looked cute, but I also thought it might be confusing. So if I remember correctly, I erased it. But for now, as you can see, it's just a stylish component. You can decide to add it or not, but it helps you see what is being rendered in your application. For your index, you're gonna have this exact page. I think it's the one that you have on Clerk, or I don't know if I changed it a little bit, but it's essentially the same, just with a few. Yeah, I think it's the same. Yeah, well, it's essentially saying if the user is signing, then allow them to go to the homepage. If it's not, then follow the steps in order for them to get authenticated. Okay, but it's exactly the same thing. The modal we already covered, and the providers. Then for our render of our pages, we're gonna have a layout that is what is being rendered in this exact part of our application. If it's inside in, it's gonna, or I don't know, their session expires of anything, it's gonna redirect them automatically to the renew their session through their process. And on home layout, this is the docs that I was talking to you about that is also rendering my mobile. I don't think I erased it. I'm gonna add a comment that not necessary for workshop or to include in video, just, but all of the hooks docs are here. So if you are curious and want to deep dive into the technologies, and I don't know, want to see even simpler examples of how to use these hooks, you're going to find all the hooks that we use in this tutorial to be documented here. I literally follow the same steps and copy paste them here and just tune them out a little bit to be able to be more eye-catching for this tutorial. So once you arrive over here, this is going to be your homepage, what is being rendered here. And this is going to import all of the components that are going to be rendered, the ones that you're seeing over here. I don't know if I already closed the app. No, I didn't. So if you're wondering why some of these are commented, that's because we already have, well, in our documentation, we have two ways in which you can set up using your biometrics in order to authenticate or create a wallet or create a transaction. This one and is like our older version that requires more steps. Now we have moved on to other hooks and technologies that allows us to simplify 10 steps that was over here into a single step. We still decided to leave it. I think it was because of a teaching hackathon, but essentially both of them works, just one is easier than the other. But if you want to deep dive in it, you can just get into this component, but I'm not going to cover it right now. On create wallet with passkey native section, that is the one that is being covered. That is to create your wallet with biometric in just the usage of one hook. Then send USDC with PIN is the same technology to be able to send a transaction with this. Then we're gonna have the send USDC with passkey. That is what we're gonna be covering. The wallet overview is gonna be this hook, the use Chipi wallet, that is like a helper hook that has all the functions to be able to get the details of your wallet. But I'm also going to cover how you can use them independently. Maybe you don't need so many and you just need a minimal hook. So I'm going to show you two ways in which you can achieve this. But essentially is here you're going to render everything that is being viewed. This is, as you can see, the title of on the text that is being rendered over here. And so we're going to go ahead and go to our first component, okay? Our first component is going to be this designing header. You can choose to add it or not. It's just for Clerk in order to sign me up and sign me in, or it's optional if you want to add it or not. Okay, so for your create wallet with passkey section, what we're going to do is that for all of the hooks, you're going to import the use auth hook from Clerk. You're going to get your token in order to authenticate, or in order to authorize the usage of data, so that only the data that belongs to the user is being able to be used by said users. You don't want, I don't know, person A to be able to get data from person B, right? Even though they are both members of your application. So once you are over here, you're gonna need to create an async function, because as you can see, you use create wallet imports this function that is async. It also imports is loading data and error. Why do you import data? Well, essentially, if you use this hook somewhere else and then you want to, I don't know, get the data of your wallet in another place, you don't have to keep calling this hook. You can just use the cache data of that. Maybe for this hook, it doesn't make too much sense, but for the use get wallet hook and for the data of the wallet, it may make more sense and have more use cases. Okay, so it's essentially really easy. You're gonna pass the params since you're gonna want to create this with passkey. You want to pass this use passkey equals true. If you go to use create wallet, I think yes, I think if you didn't put this parameter, it automatically only accepts your pin. Yes, encrypted key, you just pass the pin. And essentially, you're gonna pass the external user ID is gonna be the user ID of that is provided by your auth provider, in this case, Clerk. And the bearer token is the token that you get from the get token function from Clerk. And the chain is gonna be Starknet for now. In the future, we will be able to support more, but for now, we're gonna only be able to have USDC transfers and USDC transfers with Clerk. With Clerk, with Starknet. So as before, this is your components. This is once it is created, it's gonna be able to get you get wallet response. Let me just go to the types of response that it gets you. It's gonna return you the external user ID, which organization, the one that you created in your dashboard, it belongs to, the API public key, the public key of your wallet, and other details that are important, and things like that. But I think that most people find useful only these first parameters. Okay. So once you have this, I've created this small view component to be able to showcase our beautiful wallet. For the styles, I think it's like minimal CSS and HTML colors. And once you have these, we're gonna move ahead and go to the send passkey, send USDC with passkey. So for this essential thing, import authentication from Clerk, your user ID from Clerk. You're gonna import the transfer async function, and you're gonna use states in order to get the parameters of the user. I use a get wallet storage because I think I'm also using the get wallet over here, or not. Yeah. Sorry. I think I went a little bit too far. I essentially did, since I didn't want to make like, I don't know how to say it, a DB or anything to store this, I just save it into like the storage of the device or thing. So it's gonna, you have like setting storage, as the set wallet storage, and it just secure store with the key of the user ID and the value of the wallet is what is being sent. Okay. But essentially, let me see where it's. Well, maybe it was not the best idea to go one by one, but I'm gonna do it anyways because I'm gonna explain it. So once you get your wallet over here, you're gonna set the amounts. It's gonna need to be an async function. You're gonna need to have your types. You're gonna be very careful with your types, and you get your token, and then this is the usage of the hook. Let me just get where this is. Okay, it's over here. So this is just to be able to take care of that we have all the variables. Do we have the number? Is it a reasonable amount? Do we have a user ID? Just being sure that we have all the parameters. We need to get our wallet. If you don't want to do this storage thing and just want to make a simpler thing, you can use, I think it's, yeah, exactly. You can just get your wallet with the use get wallet hook. I'm gonna get explaining it more here. This is assuming that I already have it somewhere and it already made the call, which it would. So it gets it from the cache that I already told you about. Okay, but essentially with the transfer async, yes, you're gonna need the public key of your wallet. You're gonna need to pass the encrypted private key that is gonna be prompted for the user to put their fingerprint. And in order to prompt that. Let me just see, because if I remember correctly. And once you arrive over here, you're just gonna use this. Since we're not using our pin to decrypt this, but our passkey, you're gonna put this parameter use passkey true so that it prompts the user to be able to input it and authorize the transaction. You're gonna pass the wallet object that it's over here. You're gonna pass the external user ID. That is the one from Clerk. Same thing as before. The token is gonna be USDC. The recipient is gonna be the user address. And the amount is gonna be the number that are gonna be transferring, as well as the token. Then you have the components to render this view. After this, we're gonna go ahead and go back to our index. Our wallet with use wallet, I think it's yes, use Chipi wallet this is a helper function that I was talking to you about that has all the wallet data. Okay, the formatted balance, if it is loading, if it has error, the created wallet. Essentially, every single thing that you can do with a wallet is it's wrapped around this helper component, just if you want to have like everything in a single place. So as before, you're gonna use your external user ID. You're gonna pass your bearer token with your get token function. It's gonna be using USDC, and this enable, I think it's just a default parameter, so just use the default that is on the documentation. You can just copy and paste this. It's for, I think, cache options, if I remember correctly. Then you have this view so that you can see things like this. Wallet overview, it tells you your address, your normalized address, your balance, and I think the session keys is if you're using passkeys. And once you have these, you're gonna go ahead and go over to the wallet details. That this is for getting only the wallet and only the data of said wallet. For this, you need to pass the parameter from user ID and get token from use out from Clerk, and it's gonna be the exact same thing. The only difference is that it has some optional query options from stale time. So if you want to explore that, but this param is essentially optional. For this view, you have the same components that are only for styles, and then once we move over here, we're going to go to get token balance. In get token balance is the function that allows us to get how much balance we have after a certain transaction. So it's gonna include you have to put this at dot wallet thing because you cannot have two variables with the same name. So it's a way you can rename a parameter that comes a variable a parameter. I don't know how to say this. Something that comes from a hook in a way that you can have more organized and more detailed names for naming conventions from your project. So you have the is loading, is well refetch options, and how much do you want to keep refetching your balance and how long. So the query options are enabled, the external user ID, the get better token, the chain is USDC for now, the chain token, sorry. You're gonna pass the wallet public key. I think you can also pass the normalized public key. Yeah, you can pass either of them. And then you have your view and design components. For your transaction, use get transaction list. It's gonna be the same thing. You're gonna use the use auth, then you're gonna import use get wallet. Then once you have your wallet address, you're gonna need to pass that over here with your query options. If you're wondering what are those, let me just go to use get transaction list. You're gonna go over here and you're gonna go to the options, which are how much pages do you want to view? Well, no, how much, in which page are you on, and how much items should be per page, and the wallet address into which these items are linked to. Currently, it only records transactions from Chipi wallet to Chipi wallet, but we already have a testing functionality that should be able to drop within these few days, in which you can also view the transactions that comes from different wallets. Then you have the page number, the limit, the wallet address, the call function. You can filter by when these transactions were made and use a stale time if you need it. So once you've finished putting all your Chippy components and want to do something interesting and fun and just, I don't know, you want to customize your app maybe for a game, for putting it in your already existing application in order to receive payments, whatever you want, I'm going to give you a tip on how I achieve this kind of futuristic, I don't know, I like the look. So I'm going to go ahead and go to design prompts. Let me just see myself. Jesus Christ. And what I did is that, as in my previous tutorial, I went ahead and chose, I think it was Web3. Yeah, it was Web3. I chose Web3 as my design, but you can choose something different. So let me just go ahead. Well, first I want to commit this because I haven't. Hey guys, so I am back. Sorry, I had some merging issues because we also have other repos and we essentially have other repos here, so I needed to push some things. But back again with the things. I'm also gonna make you a separate tutorial, guys, if you'd like, on how to set up the testing environment for your wallet. Because for example, in this device, I'm also able to use or emulate the touch of a sensor. I don't know why it looks so ugly. Yes, to emulate the touch of a sensor. So I recorded my fingerprint, and whenever it prompts like authenticate with passkey or something else, I just touch the sensor and it emulates as if I was touching the sensor on this device. It was a little bit complicated for me. I don't know, maybe if you're not English speakers or if AI, if social media has fried your brain as much as me, and you see the documentation with too much details and you don't know what you need or what you don't, or maybe you're just starting out. Maybe you want a tutorial like this. So I'm gonna be able to make one for you. Just I'm not gonna cover it in this video or right now, but if that's something you've like. Another thing is when you start your application, it gives you, and you don't put the Android flag or the iOS flag. Yes. I don't know. Sorry. I don't know. I was there. I thought for a moment that I was opening because I had to resolve some issues from the previous tutorial. I added support for other components and other things that I wanted to record. But essentially, I thought that I was in that, and I was like, how can I be able to run Expo? But it didn't fail. I just read it wrong. So essentially, what you run here is gonna return you a QR code, and you're gonna be able to see the design of your application, but you're not gonna be able to test anything with passkey with that. With that. Oh, something happened. Oh, sorry. Whatever. Maybe I did something. I'll just fix it. But anyways, essentially, as you can see over here, if I didn't run this with the flag of Android, it will only prompt me like this QR code. And once you scan it, you would be able to see the design of your application, but you wouldn't be able to use your passkeys unless you make an AS build or try it in an emulator or connect your physical device to it. Okay, so let me just go ahead and you can also open it like this. It's gonna start it. It's gonna start Metro. It's gonna give you the QR code. Sure, why not? Oh no, I think I'm in the wrong one. Yeah. I was in a separate tutorial. Sorry, guys. I just it's been 2 videos since I made this tutorial, and I just left this in order to try to break internal test. I'm not gonna upload this one. It's not gonna exist when you see this tutorial. But essentially, as you can see, when you start the things, I think I have some packages that for my npm version are not getting the latest ones, but they're just warnings. Everything works fine. And over here, you can scan the code, but as I said before, you're not gonna be able to test unless it's an emulator, a physical device, or an AS build. NAS build is a little bit complicated to make and it takes a lot of time, so I wouldn't recommend it most of the times. I would most recommend it that you follow the tutorial. If you want to know how I set it up or want to try it yourself before my next tutorial comes up, you're gonna go to the Expo and search how you can connect an emulator. You're gonna have to install Android emulator, and the recommended emulator, I think it's the Pixel 9 or something. That's the one I'm using. And well, if you only run it like this, it's gonna tell you to open Android, or you can just use the flag. I'm not gonna use the flag. Since it's already running, I'm gonna use over here. And since we're gonna do something fun, because obviously maybe you have a personal project or you already have, I don't know, something going on, I'm gonna go and choose. What can I choose? What seems to be fun? This looks nice. So I'm gonna choose this maximalist or retro. No, I'm not gonna choose that. This looks elegant enough. So I'm gonna go over here. Stop. I need to move this. Okay. I'm gonna go over here. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, I'm in the right place. I'm gonna go and open my favorite AI helper. I'm gonna paste this and I'm gonna tell it, I want to change my design to something minimal like this, following to follow this prompt, please.
The city lights are twinkling bright. We'll chase the moon through the night.
Hello guys! So I had to cut the recording, but I wanted to show you guys the final demo of how the application ended up looking like. So let me just share my screen. I'm gonna close this, and in here you can see the demo of the final design of the application. Now what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna show you guys how all the components and functionalities work once you make a transaction. I've made some tests here, as you can see. It already has my recent transactions here. Well, recent transactions because those are the only ones that I've made, and it has my balance here. And well, yes, let me just go ahead and show you guys how this works. All right, give me just a second. So now I paste here an address so that I can transfer some money. I'm gonna transfer a really small amount. I'm gonna transfer with passkey. I'm gonna open here so that I can mock. Oh yes, sorry. So that I can mock my biometrics. It tells me that my transfer has been submitted. It's the 0x22AB. So I'm gonna go ahead and click here. I'm gonna refetch my balance, and it's over here. So I hope you guys like this video. Give us some feedback if you like it, if you feel like we didn't cover something, and also if you make something interesting with Chipi, we really like to see it. I hope to see you guys in future tutorials, and I hope to see what you build. Bye bye.